greatest defensive fighter ever, and you're going to stoop to this?
Like you said, I watched this ruckus on Twitter. I was like,
what?
Like, oh my goodness.
Okay.
Things didn't go right. You know, took a loss. I took a heavy loss actually, but nothing can hold me back.
Floyd Mayweather has built an entire brand around one thing: money. Whether it's cash stacked to the ceiling, million-dollar watches, or fleets of luxury cars, Mayweather has always made it clear he's not just undefeated in the ring, he's the richest fighter alive.
The Money Man is getting ready. Super Bowl weekend, Las Vegas. We had to get the ones. Make it rain. I need everybody. That girl collection, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Super Bowl, or whoever win or lose, it don't matter. I need everybody there. Girl collection. Yeah.
But now, rumors are swirling that Mayweather may have lost $402 million in a financial disaster. And Shannon Sharpe? He's not holding back. Sharpe's recent comments hit hard, and they raise some serious questions about Mayweather's money, his decisions, and his legacy.
See, like, you know, I just, like you said, I watched this ruckus on Twitter. I was like,
what?
Like, oh my goodness.
Okay.
It definitely was like WWE.
After hearing about the scam, Shannon Sharpe didn't waste time sugarcoating his thoughts. He said Mayweather should have known better, especially as someone who works as an independent contractor. When Floyd gets paid, the money goes directly to him. That means it's his job to handle taxes, investments, and everything else. Sharpe's point was simple: when you've made hundreds of millions, you can't afford to be careless.
I think with Floyd, he's never had a manager as well, right? He's always negotiated his own deals. Is that what kind of led to as well, if he didn't have to cut a
It's not that he ain't got a manager, but he has got a manager. So he's, can't remember his name now. So he's got a man, an elderly fella that's always with him. And, but he does, everything goes through him, everything. Floyd ain't very clever. Believe me.
And if something goes wrong, that's on you. Floyd, of course, has his own view. He says money is just a tool. It doesn't define him, he defines money. He uses it to give his family new experiences, travel the world, and live life on his terms. Just because I talk about money doesn't make me a bad person, he once said. Money helps us live better, try new things, and provide for the people we love. And that's part of Floyd's mindset.
Floyd, you seem really comfortable talking about money. A lot of people in the UK are not. So what are your beliefs around money?
Just because I talk about money doesn't make me a bad person. I mean, I like to have the finer things in life. Money don't make me, I make money. I like to feed my family. You know, we can't feed our family just saying I love you. You know, money is able to put us in a position so we can have the finer things in life. So we are able to travel over to the UK and experience and do different things. We're able to travel to Dubai and other countries and have fun and live life and experience different things. So when you're able to make a lot of money, you're able to do those certain things. And for those people that don't have any money, because life is all about having different experiences. The money I'm able to bring my team as well as my family around the world so they can experience different things.
Something you said earlier, Floyd, it really fascinated me. And it gave me an insight that you really learned about money. Is you said in real estate, you got to know what to do on a small scale first.
Yes.
And then you went big. And is that because you don't want to take massive risk because you want to be smart with your money?
Well, like you don't go out there and work extremely hard for so many years and then take every dime you got and just put it into something that you don't know about.
Well, a lot of people do, don't they? I mean,
and a majority of the time you get bad results. 90% of the time you get bad results. Just like boxing. You know, I've gotten great results because I took my time.
He isn't afraid to take risks. In fact, he openly says most of his investments fail. But when they hit big, and that's the game he plays. But here's the issue for someone who's reportedly lost hundreds of millions. Mayweather still goes out of his way to show off his wealth. Whether it's throwing cash at his club, girl collection, buying $17 million watches, or flexing his private jet, the flash never stops. Shannon Sharpe sees it differently. He thinks Floyd is chasing the next payday not because he wants to, but because he has to. There's dignity in 50-0, Sharpe said. At some point, enough is enough. One of the biggest targets of Sharpe's criticism is Floyd's exhibition matches, especially the one with Logan Paul.
I'm sure he could be 60 years of age and people would still pay per view
Right.
to watch him box someone.
And so the lure is still there.
Yeah.
They want to see Floyd get beat, even if it's somebody that's not a name that we. Man, a YouTuber. A YouTuber did something that a world champion couldn't do.
Yeah. Didn't.
Yes.
No.
But I saw Floyd Mayweather get knocked down.
But at what point does Floyd have enough money not to stoop to do these exhibitions? But at some point, there is athletic dignity attached to 50-0, and that's the allure of this.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of, okay?
And the people that they're putting him in there with can't put him in harm's way.
No, they-
So he doesn't see, like, you know, I just, like you said, I watched this ruckus on Twitter. I was like,
What?
oh my goodness.
Okay.
It definitely was like WWE.
Sharpe questioned why the greatest defensive fighter of all time would step into the ring with a YouTuber. Not only was it beneath his legacy, but it wasn't even against Jake Paul, the more skilled of the two. Sharpe joked, "We didn't even get the right brother." To Sharpe, these fights aren't boxing. They're WWE-style entertainment, and Floyd's cashing in on nostalgia. Recently, Floyd claimed he closed a $42 million deal to buy 1,000 apartment units across 60 buildings in New York City.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. I mean, we all know him, the tremendous, talented boxer, but people don't realize how smart he is in business, especially real estate. He just did a blockbuster deal, forget about it. Upper Manhattan, 1,000 units consisting of 60 buildings, affordable housing, $402 million purchase price. The seller, Black Spruce Management. This is going to be a monster, huge deal.
He's collecting rent, hustlers. You know how much rent that is? And guess what? I don't know his paperwork, but obviously if you spent that much in real estate, it looks like he spent it in one shot, but even if he didn't, but usually he did. And if he dealt with the same person, you get a deal, right? So through these deals, he's making money. It's definitely an income situation. They're all apartments. It's not a commercial building. They're all apartment buildings, which are commercial, but they're apartments. So guess what? 402 million in real estate. Hey, he's $500 million in real estate just off apartment.
That sounds impressive, but there's a problem. Property records don't show any changes. Agencies like the NYC Housing Partnership weren't notified, and when reporters tried to get answers, things got strange. A supposed spokesperson called in, used a fake name, and wouldn't confirm anything on record. Now, many are asking, is it all a lie? Is Mayweather really becoming a real estate mogul? Or is he using vague deals to maintain his image?
What's the point of buying 62 buildings? You buy a couple.
No, 62 units, I think, right?
No, 62 units could be one building.
Yeah, it could be.
They got buildings with 90 units and
Yeah, it's
100
true.
and some units.
He has 62 multifamily units. That's what it says. So that's 62 buildings. Like you just said, it's probably
so
62
think about
buildings.
it.
Yeah.
If he has that, some of the buildings might not be in the best condition.
Right.
So knock it down and build, or knock, if they're side by side, knock both of them down. Don't renew rents. Let them move out and then build a skyscraper.
Right.
Or if he makes commercial properties out of some of those.
That's what I'm saying.
To be fair, Floyd says this new chapter is about giving back. He claims his passion for real estate comes from growing up in affordable housing. That's why he wants to invest in those communities to provide homes for people who need them, while building generational wealth for his own family. If that's true, it's a major shift from the guy who once burned stacks of cash in nightclubs. But critics still wonder, is this genuine growth? Or just another way to stay in the spotlight? Mayweather's rise began with one bold move.
Floyd Mayweather is the most successful boxer in history with a 50-0 record, and one of the wealthiest athletes of all time with $1 billion in earnings. But I bet you didn't know it all started with a $750,000 bet on himself. Here's the wild story. In 2006, Floyd Mayweather was 10 years into his boxing career and earning over $5 million per fight. At the time, Mayweather was signed to Bob Arum's Top Rank boxing promotion, a partnership which saw Arum get 25% of Mayweather's fight purse. But Mayweather wanted more, and in 2006, he turned down $8 million to fight Antonio Margarita and said he deserved $20 million to fight Oscar De La Hoya. Arum wasn't happy and wouldn't pay up, so Mayweather paid the $750,000 exit fee in his contract to leave Top Rank. Mayweather then went on to promote his own fights, earning a percentage of every ticket, hot dog, and beer sold at the event, and most importantly, all pay-per-views sold. And just 1 year later in 2007, after leaving Top Rank, Mayweather made $25 million for his win against Oscar De La Hoya. Now that's what happens when you bet on yourself.
In 2006, he paid $750,000 to buy himself out of his contract with Bob Arum and Top Rank. He walked away from a guaranteed $8 million and bet on himself. 1 year later, he earned $25 million fighting Oscar De La Hoya under his own promotion. From then on, he controlled everything: the pay-per-view, the ticket sales, even concessions. That decision made him not just rich, but independent. But it also meant there was no safety net. Unlike most athletes, Mayweather never hired a traditional manager. He negotiated all his own deals. He kept every dollar, but also carried all the risk.
The thing is that Floyd is what they call an independent contractor. And what happens is that when you become an independent contractor, Skip, if you make $230 million, they give you two checks or a check for $230 million. It is up to you to take out the deductions and make sure state, federal, and whatever else needs to be deducted is paid to the Internal Revenue Service.
When it worked, it was brilliant. When it didn't, there was no one to bail him out. It's part of what makes Floyd unique and part of what makes his current situation so concerning. Today, Floyd claims he still earns $30 million a month. He's always talking about new investments, business ventures, and big plans. But at the same time, he's still taking fights that damage his reputation.
He was a highly respected champion.
Still
He
is.
dominated the sport.
Yes.
Greatest defensive fighter ever. And you're going to stoop to this?
Yep.
It's not even the right Paul. It's not Jake Paul. It's the older
we get
brother.
the brother. We get the brother.
He's
then.
easier.
Look, I was like, I started with the moment Nate Robinson hit that canvas face first.
Yep.
I'm like, who can we nominate as an athlete to get our get back? I looked at James Johnson.
Okay, but it's not Jake. It's the older brother.
I want somebody.
Somebody?
Brandon Marshall. Our first things first, Brandon Marshall.
Yep.
But I'm going to tell you who good with their hands that you might not know. Curtis Martin.
So what?
And we want our get back. That's what. So what?
So you want Curtis Martin to fight Jake Paul
I
now?
wanted to fight something. We go get our get back. Y'all not finna have bragging rights.
This isn't even a fight.
Nope.
This is an exhibition.
No, I know what happens.
How low can you go?
Skip, I know you over there. You're like, yeah, we got him. You know, no. We go get our get back. This for the culture. We got to represent. Money, represent.
Represent?
Yep, lump him up.
You represented against Conor McGregor, and it was a worthy fight.
That's
It
okay,
was
we'll
actually
get
a battle.
We gonna lump him up. Yeah, we gonna lump him up.
Could a rematch with Conor McGregor be next? Maybe. It would be massive. It would sell. But would it be worth it? At 45 years old, with his legacy already sealed, many wonder why Floyd is still chasing the next big payday. Maybe he doesn't want to stop. Or maybe he can't afford to.